How's it going, everybody? So in this one, I wanted to try to talk about levels, densities, and dimensions. Now, what is that? So on top of every single thing that we're experiencing already, there are levels, dimensions, and densities. So let's talk about levels first. So there's levels for everything. There's soul levels, energy levels, even with light, sound waves, all of that stuff, they even have levels, frequencies, it's all levels. So let's even just take the, sound wave for now, because that's one that we can kind of see. So when you have a lower frequency, it kind of takes the longer one, and then it's like then you have a higher frequency, and then a higher frequency, and then the highest frequency, and that is exactly what the levels of so many things are. So it's the same with chakras, if you believe in that. It doesn't mean that one level's lower or higher and better or not than another. It just is that. It's just that level is that level, and things operate at that level. And then you have these levels and things operate at those levels. And it's just the way it is. And it's really neat because that even goes in for our souls, and that goes for the earth, and that goes for everything existing, because we are all energy, and energy is a frequency or many frequencies, and it exists in all forms. And that is what the dimensions, densities, and levels are about. It's when you decide to experience in this frequency, or you decide to experience in this frequency, or you decide to experience in this frequency. And then from there, there's like, the quick ones, the slow ones, whatever, because you could do this one quick, you could do this one slow, and you can do this one slow, or you can do this one quick. And it's just, that's what it is. So with even with our souls, so people will look at rocks and trees as if, they could be nothing. But for me, I believe those even have an energy density, and they experience at that. And does that mean they're going to be a rock or tree forever? And not just that, when they get broken down, they become part of Earth, and it's even Earth. What frequency is Earth? And then the stars, and, just everything, even other species around us. I believe in definitely higher dimensional and density beings that are experiencing life completely different than us. And then there's just so basically there's the 1, 2, 3, which experience life and just think of us ourselves. Well, basically 1, 2 is in some kind of 3. In 3 and 4 is when you're starting to become aware of yourself. So 1s and 2s are basically just being, and 3s and 4s are more conscious and aware and realizing, choice and free will and all of that kind of stuff. And then 5, 6, 7 and beyond, it's just more and more and more. And then there's the 9 and 10 densities, and there's so many more than that as well. Same as knowledge, that's how they could possibly measure knowledge too, in these kind of levels and densities and dimensions. So what are the different dimensions as well? It's basically people, with ghosts and spirits and all that kind of stuff that they don't want to believe in, and some do see it and all that kind of stuff. Ghosts and other species unknown to us, what they want to call aliens or ETs, they also exist in different frequencies and levels of densities and dimensions. And it's when we tune into those is when we can see them, correspond with them, communicate, or, whatever, or hear them, whatever it is that happens. That's why sometimes it happens near sleep, or when you decide to connect into that, or whatever. It all depends on, sometimes it happens by accident. It's not always you choose to. It's just sometimes maybe your body just vibrates at that level and it happens. So if you don't want to believe that people see that stuff, you don't have to. But the thing is, why you don't see it is because you're not at that level of frequency, density, or dimension, and so it doesn't happen to you. It is also a choice. But at the same time, with choice, that makes it hard, because some people are just like, oh yeah, well then I choose to see it. But that's not a real choice made from, your heart center. That's just a fleeting moment of whatever you're trying to be. But ones that do actually choose from their heart center, it does happen. And that's why there has been contact with other people, with other species as well. Another thing I don't know if you've tried is, everything does communicate the same through energy. So that's why you have people that are like animal whisperers or tree whisperers or whatever whisperers, because they connect on that level. They have gone there and they're connecting at that level, density, dimension. And it's just in so many things. Even for our soul levels, there's so many layers in soul level. And that's what I also believe, I should do a separate episode of this too, but I'll just mention it quickly here, is even about heaven and hell, is when we exit our body, where are we in that frequency? So when you experience fears and all that stuff, it is at a lower frequency. It's not saying that the lower frequency is bad or anything. It's just that's where it exists. And so if you exit your body at a lower frequency, even, people who have nightmares and those kinds of dreams that hold you down, it's because you've gone to that lower frequency and you're experiencing all that kind of fear. But also the ones that experience the like other like euphorias and all that kind of stuff, they've exited into the higher frequency because that is what they're experiencing at the moment, and they experience all that kind of love and joy and that kind of good feeling kind of stuff. So it's really up to us and where we are. And this is why consciousness is something that is a great tool, is because when you're unconscious, that's why you just float all over. You don't even know you're doing it. You're just kind of going with the flow. Whereas when you're conscious, you can choose. Do you wish to experience that? Do you wish to choose to do that? Do you? Do you? Do you? And yeah, that's what's really cool about the power of choice. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about level and densities and dimensions for now. It definitely goes further and it's really fun. There's so many different things. Like, you have no idea how far it can go, and it goes there, and it's really cool. It's so juicy in so much information and knowledge. It's really amazing. And it just shows us, again, how deep we go. Love you all. To depth. I said depth, not death, just so you know.